Hello and welcome back to the Four Nations Under-18 tournament here at Archers Arena for what should be an immensely exciting game between the Scottish and Irish men's sides. This is our third game of the day. We've already had the Wales men versus the English men, and we've also had the Welsh women against the Irish women. I'm joined once again by Kaz. This should be a fantastic matchup, shouldn't it?
Oh, it should definitely. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. We've got two teams here, Ireland men, Scotland men. It's going to be a great matchup today. Third game of the day. We've had the tone set early.
Oh, yes.
So I'm expecting big things from this.
Absolutely. This looks like it could be one of the key matchups of the day. A little secret for you. If you're local to the Archers Arena, you might have been able to get a sneak peek at some of the action from today's games because there were some friendlies played last night, and Ireland were one of the standout teams from those games. So everyone's kind of been waiting for this game just to see how well they're going to match up in today's game. They've got a lot of tall physical players, Kaz. How much of a difficulty is that going to be for this Scotland team?
I think it is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
You see Scotland here. They've got a couple of players, outmatching them height-wise. But as you say, Ireland, the majority of the team, they've got quite a big height presence, so definitely winning the battle there. So what Scotland are going to want to look to do is trying to go to their strengths. They've got some smaller guards, and we know when you see a smaller guard, they like to be fast, they like to run the floor, so they're going to probably try and outrun them and use that quickness against the height advantage that they have inside. Oh,
fantastic. Well, if you were with us for the last time out, you will have seen what happened, but it did come away as an Ireland women's win. It was a close game all up until the very end. The Welsh women really battled through that one, but it did end up with a win for the Irish. And in the first game, if you caught me and Kaz on that at 9 o'clock this morning, nice and early, the England men went to a pretty big win over the Welsh men. It did seem as if the Welsh team were coming back into it in the second half, but in the end it was the English that came away with a pretty monstrous victory in that one. We're all kind of looking out for when we get to see Ireland and Scotland come up against them and see if they can really test them a little more. Is there anyone who's standing out for you so far today in terms of teams, Kaz?
I think the English men's team made a real statement, didn't they, in that first game? We saw some massive performances. Nedas Sholivinskas leading the way, 17 points. We had Liam Campbell flirting with a triple-double, but didn't get to play as much in the second half. And just some massive all-around performances. A really strong showing from the England team coming out in the first game. And also for the Wales men, like you say, a bit of a slow start, but some players, especially Jack Davies, and Rhys Cornelius.
Yes, big game.
Big game from them. And there's still a lot of basketball to play. These teams have got 3 games over the next 2 days. So still a lot of learning, a lot of basketball still to go.
Absolutely, an awful lot of basketball still to go. If you've ever watched a game of basketball and left it thinking, I could use a few more of those, then this is the place to be. There is non-stop basketball here at Archers Arena at the Four Nations tournament today. And tomorrow we got the best and brightest talent across all of Britain here under one roof. It really is an amazing thing that we get to do this, Kaz. Like, what more can you ask for?
Well, nothing really. This is everything you need, isn't it? And like you say, it's a fantastic showcase for the young talent that we've got in the UK, and it's a great experience to bring all the Four Nations together. Get these players whilst it's a tournament, isn't it? It's a chance to play in a real-life game atmosphere. You've got a crowd here. You've got a really decent crowd. We've had a sellout before.
Absolutely.
The last game. And, get these players into the atmosphere where there's drums, there's noise, there's people, I'm going to say booing, but they don't want you to score those free throws when you're shooting them. Get used to that, into that professional atmosphere, because these players, there's so many that will be able to go on and to have professional careers, represent the national team, and events like this are such a good opportunity for players to show themselves.
Absolutely, especially with the under-18 Euros coming up this summer.
Yeah.
Alan Keane here, of course, with a keen eye, and maybe some selections to come from this day today. So this is a big chance for everyone to show out and show exactly how much talent they have to give. And like you said, there's not booing. I like to go with sarcastic cheering. That's the way I like to think about that. Sarcastic cheering. And but definitely, there's some noise at the free throw line. But there's definitely no room for silence here at Archers Arena. We're known for our atmosphere, and we are known to bring it, especially for a big game like this one. There's an awful lot of players here But for the first time today, I think we've got a 7-footer in the building, haven't we, Kaz?
Yeah, we have 7'1" Raza Majid, who plays in the CBL. So he plays for Hoop Skills Academy at Stoke-on-Trent. And in the CBL, so the College Basketball League, that's the recently rebranded ABL from last year.
Ah, yes.
He is averaging 10.6 points per game, 17.4 rebounds.
Woohoo!
17.4.
That's unbelievable. Obviously, we don't get a lot of players in Britain with that kind of height.
Yeah.
How much of an advantage is that going to be for Scotland?
So, looking at it, you think that is going to be a real advantage. Yeah. You can see there what he's doing in, his day-to-day in the CBL, but having that presence inside, that's huge, quite literally. And it really, really helps when you've got someone. So he almost isn't going to need to jump, is he? He's going to be able to tap the ball, get those rebounds, and you think as well he's going to be so important inside for those second chance points and put back, which is sometimes where the game's won and lost. Absolutely.
Those hustle points and second chance opportunities come massively into play later in the game. We saw that in the first game. England able to do so over Wales. Wales not really able to do so outside of Rhys Cornelius. It's why we pinpointed him so often during that game, as he was the only one able to do so. Here, it looks as if athleticism and size is a bit more of an even match. Athletes definitely for Ireland. They're known to throw down a dunk or two, but with a 7'1" big man protecting the rim, maybe that's going to be a little difficult for them.
It could be, couldn't it? Yeah, we've heard about this Irish team. We've heard what they like to do, dunking wise. And yeah, if you've got someone like that protecting the rim, that can throw you off your rhythm a little bit, because if you're used to being able to being the tallest players on the court, being able to run, get some dunks in, get some real, get up there. If you've got someone that you've got to come up against, you've got to change your tactics, because you can either run into them and get blocked, or maybe draw the foul. But it can throw you off a little bit, so they might have to adjust their game plan a bit there.
Absolutely, the Irish coaches will be planning for that, I'm sure, as will the Scottish coaches, who will be trying to utilise all of that size for their advantage. Of course, that's not just an advantage on the defensive end, that's of course what we've focused on, but going forward, the ability to set screens with such size is going to be able to create so much separation for those smaller guards, for those quick players who want to turn the corner. We see heavy screens all the time for the NBA, for example. In the BBL, there's some fantastic screen setters. I can't really imagine trying to fight past 7'1" of a man, really. I'd like to say I'm heightly challenged at 5'7". I would never have excelled against anyone who's 7'1". Let's say that at least. But I just can't imagine the prospect of coming up. How must these players be thinking, seeing a guy that size?
And thinking, I've got to go against that.
I've got to run into him. Are you joking? Surely not. But the confidence that must give his other players. Yeah. Because in terms of rim protection and going forward, you're always knowing, I got this guy on my team.
Exactly, yeah. But sometimes that can work in the other team's favour as well.
Okay.
We've got a guy here, so he's a bit of a target, isn't he? He's the tallest guy in court, everyone's expecting a lot. And then the other team's like, okay, can I dunk on him? Can I get round him? Can I show what I can do against the guy that's this size? So sometimes that can give you a little bit of a boost as well.
Absolutely. We do know that it is a bit of a thing that people think about, that with height, sometimes you lack a little bit of speed, especially when you're moving laterally. So if Ireland can get around him, or maybe draw him out, if they've got a big that can shoot and really spread the floor, that could cause some major problems for Scotland. Well, we are getting closer and closer to the tip-off here. Coaches just getting their final words in. Remember that this is the first game for these two sides, so maybe this isn't going to be the finished article. These guys will not have had enough of a chance to play with each other to maybe be at their tip-top best. We might see that in the coming games, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think we saw it even in-game with Wales, didn't we?
Yes.
And England. Both teams had bits and pieces that they wasn't working so well, but throughout the game they were able to adapt to that. And I'm sure when we see Wales again later this evening, they're playing against Ireland at 5 o'clock. They're going to look like almost not a totally different team, but you're going to be able to see the difference there. And also, this is tough for Ireland. So it's 2 o'clock now. We are running a little bit behind, probably around 30 minutes, but we have another game after this one, and then Ireland will be playing again. against Wales.
Yes, that's a massive advantage for England, example, who played first today and then don't have to play for the remainder until tomorrow.
Yeah. So you wonder if that's going to factor into things, getting a bit of rest, being able to scout the other teams as well, see how they're playing.
Yes.
And adapt your game plan to that.
It'll be interesting to see how the coach matches up his rotations, knowing that he's got another game to prepare for. Maybe some of his star players he'll have to hold back a little. Let me just run you through with the starting lineups just quickly. So for the Scotland men, we've got Gilmore, Tuck, Correa, Pringle and Majid. The 7'1" Majid wearing number 99, just to make sure that you definitely notice him. He's 7'1" and he wears 99. And then for Ireland, we've got Owosis, O'Flynn, Malachy, Cuff and Nkewe. So it's going to be a very, very, very interesting matchup here today. We're just about to get ready for the tip-off. I hadn't even thought of the tip-off.
So one team has a slight advantage on the tip-off here, I want to say.
It went the way of Scotland and the 7'1" Majid. Here we go. We are underway at the Four Nations. Scotland under-18s against Ireland's under-18s. Pringle with a loose pass there, and Ireland have a chance to go out. O'Flynn trying to make use of that. And it's a quick turnover once again. Ireland unable to take advantage. Some
good hands there from Scotland to be able to just get the hand in the passing lane, knock the ball out and force a turnover.
Found its way into Majid early. Passing out to the post and relocating. And the double team comes and picks the ball out. The 3 ball instantly from Correa, unable to knock that down.
And you see that double team going straight inside. If that's what Ireland need to do to get the ball back out, force a shot, that's what they might need to do this game.
Gilmore missed the rim entirely there. And Correa, who's already had a little bit of an impact on this game, taking a couple of dribbles, they managed to stop that outlet pass that would have got Ireland on a nice transition break.
And that's what you like to see early on, players coming out, playing hard already, just a few seconds into the game. But it's good to set the tone like that. And like we said earlier, for your teammates to see, you've got players that are stepping up, they're throwing themselves on the court, they're after that ball. So it's a really good thing to see early.
Absolutely. Ireland getting us started out again. Trying to turn the corner here. And it's a foul called on the shot. Majid not too happy with that one. Look, he tries to go straight up, but no, he does come down. Definite contact on that shot. Ireland will head to the line for 2 with Owosis.
I think that's the universal, me? I fouled? No player's ever committed a foul.
No, never.
In a game, ever.
Absolutely not. Every referee's decision is incorrect at all times. Well, the first one is down. We have our first points of the game. The deadlock is broken. The second misses. 1 for 2 from the line at the first attempt for Ireland. Here is Correa again on the ball. Has to stop in case of travelling, but his teammates help him recover.
And we see Ireland there pressing the ball like England were doing in their first game to start things off.
Correa with instructions for his teammates, getting the big screen from Majid. And from the right-hand side, the shot goes up from Pringle, but is unsuccessful once again. A couple of misses from deep already for Scotland.
Yeah, and we've seen that a bit earlier on as well. Wales had the same problem. Sometimes you just need to see the ball drop for it to go through. But they are getting some good looks.
Absolutely.
So they're not rushing anything at the moment, it doesn't look like.
No, I don't think the coach will be too unhappy with anything so far. Ireland driving towards the basket. And it's gone the way of Scotland there. I think they were thinking that might be a foul, but it seems as if he just drove through traffic.
Yeah, I think that almost looked like he was waiting for that whistle.
Yeah. Here comes Pringle. With Correa seeming to be the 2 primary ball handlers for this Scottish 5. Kick ball called against Ireland. Be interesting to see here who can put their stamp on the game early. We saw that in the England game.
We did. Sholovinskas and Campbell coming out early, coming out firing as well. So, yeah, who's going to be the guy for each of these teams?
Gosh, I love basketball.
It's great, isn't it?
Here's Correa. The beautiful pass to the corner. Drive and the pocket pass to Majid can't be found. And Ireland have a chance to break here. Double dribble. Rory O'Flynn there called for the violation. Scotland ball.
Again, that's good pressure though from Ireland to force the turnover. Just getting into the heads a little bit. You defend, you've got just force the turnover.
There's Rory O'Flynn once more. And that'll go out Scotland ball once again. Just needing to warm into the game, would you say? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, whilst it's 2 o'clock, it's still relatively early compared to when these guys would normally be playing basketball as well. It's, we're not in an evening situation here. So we did see England earlier coming out very strong at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's still early. It can take you a little while to settle down. There can be a few nerves, especially at a tournament like this. Again, like we say, we've got crowds, and it's sometimes quite a unique experience for these players.
The three from the top of the key is nailed. That is beautiful from Maliki. The first three of the game, and Ireland are up by 4-0.
And that's a good start from Ireland. They're going to be, there's obviously things they can work on, a few turnovers.
Yeah.
But they've got some good looks. They've been able to get to the line, knocking down that three as well. That's big for them.
Huge.
So they're going to be pleased with that. I think Scotland, as soon as they see that first ball go through the net, they'll settle down a little bit. They have got some good looks again, like the threes they've been taking. Pringle, I think he's had a good look.
Yes.
Gilmore as well. It's just not dropped for them, but you just find that sometimes the team just needs to get into rhythm a little bit and just settle their nerves.
0 for 3 so far from deep for Scotland overall, but like you said, they're not getting bad looks. They're not rushing into shots. They've all been opportunities that I think their coach would be happy with them generating and creating.
Yes, definitely. I'd agree. And that you can't really ask for more than that. Well, apart from the ball to go in.
Yes,
but
you'd like it to go in. I'm not sure you can ask for it.
But a coach, if it's a good look, it's a good look. They're not going to be mad about that. And that's exactly why we've got the tournaments like this, isn't it? This is a chance for these players who don't normally play together. You'll have a couple of players that are familiar with each other on teams. Sometimes you might have played together at All-Stars, but it's a chance for a whole new bunch to get to learn each other, get to feel how they play, and work out positions.
Interesting to see there, the Irish coach just questioning the bounce of the ball, wondering whether or not he's inflated to his liking. Referee assures him that the ball is fine. Here comes Scotland once more, and the pressure from Ireland is evident once again, and they manage to turn it over. Fantastic pressure from Rory O'Flynn.
That's great, and that's what you love to see coming out of a timeout as well, putting that pressure on.
Here Ireland come. Can they take advantage of this extra possession? It's another open three from the top of the key. This time, no such luck.
And again, another good look. It hasn't dropped, but you need to get out to that if you're Scotland.
That was a poor pass in the end by Pringle. Here come Ireland once more. And it's another wide open three. And it's another miss. But the second chance opportunity created by none other than Ireland. A fantastic score there from Cuff.
And if you're Scotland, are you risky? I mean, you can risk the outside shot because they've missed a few, but then they've hit one, and you need to get out to it unless you're absolutely certain they're not going to be able to knock it down.
And on cue, the ball does go down from three-point range, but he'd already stepped out of bounds.
And that's unlucky. That can be quite disheartening, but you've just got to put it at the back of your mind, go on to the next play.
Yes, shooters shoot.
Yeah. I know, you've seen it go in. Just needs to be in the game.
Yes, mentally, surely you can take that as a win. Here come Ireland once more. Both teams having made a couple of substitutions. Here's Rory O'Flynn from deep. And Ireland drain in another three. A fantastic start from deep for the Irish.
And this is something we've heard again a little bit about this Irish team. They like to shoot that three-point shot, and they're proving that they can do it today.
A bit of a wild kick out there from Korea. He manages to catch it down low. The whistle has gone. He'll head to the line for 2.
And Scotland here with a chance to get their first points of the game at the line.
Absolutely. Korea's already got 2 rebounds. He's dominated the ball handling so far for the Scottish outfit. Let's see if he can score their first. With a couple of lucky bounces, yes he can.
Yeah, and just 16 years old as well, playing at the under-18, so a real talent here.
Wow, just 16 years old. Look at the height on him.
6'6". Probably still growing.
Probably, I'd say.
Aiming for that 7-2, just to take overtake his teammate.
He's got something to aim for. A beautiful kick out from Ireland. And this time the 3 cannot find the bottom of the net. Once again, second chance points already an option for Ireland. And it's a travel for Scotland on the fast break. Adams there, unable to collect the ball cleanly in stride.
And you've got to think other teams are out here watching this Irish team, looking at how they play. They are going to that 3-point shot a lot, and they're getting, like you say, second, third chance opportunities out there.
Rory O'Flynn unable to make that shot count, but he gets his own rebound again. This is the thing with shooting a lot of threes. The rebound comes far further backwards out, so it's easier to get your own rebound.
Yeah, and that helps as well. You don't have to go inside against a 7'1" guy.
Yes. So possibly a really dangerous matchup here for Scotland. They might be able to negate the Scottish traits. And that's a beautiful mid-range shot from Scully there for Ireland.
And I like that. He took the time, stepped inside. The threes haven't been dropping for them. They've got those open looks, but he just stepped inside, little inside the 3-point line, knocked it down.
Korea there, able to poke the ball loose. It goes straight out of bounds. We've got just under 4.5 remaining in this first quarter. Ireland currently up by 10, 12-2. Korea's free throws, the only difference from the starting score for Scotland.
I feel like you just want to see Scotland just drive inside, just try and get something happening down there.
Well, here's an opportunity on the fast break. They've got options. Once again, they are forced outside by the Irish defence. Turning inside. That's a beautiful little move there by Adams, but unable to finish it off.
And that's unlucky. That was a great move to the basket. And you can see that double team straight underneath as soon as Scotland are driving inside. You're going to leave someone open there, so you need to look. It's easier said than done.
Yes.
But you need to kick the ball out. You don't have to shoot the 3. You can still step inside, go for a mid-range jumper, but someone's going to be open once you've drawn that double team.
Heading to the line is Liam Price, his first action of the game. The first is good. The second goes down as well. And that'll be Scotland ball. A little bit of a mistake there possibly from Korea with a loose re-entry pass. And got lucky, and it's been a timeout called by the Scottish coaches. I think that's probably the right decision at this point here. Try to cool down the Irish and light a fire under his team.
Yeah. And, you know, coach will just be saying to them, look, guys, you know, it's early on in the game. We're down 12 here. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's the first game we've played. We've just come out now. We're just seeing how we work together. But they just, I want to see them try and go inside. I know they're hitting that double, but just go fast.
Yes, absolutely. They've got to be aggressive and drive. The Irish have been fantastic. They've been lighting it up from 3, as you can see on your screens at home. It's been an absolute barrage from long-range distance. The way they've been able to drive in, kick out and find an open man nearly every time they've gone down has been really, really impressive.
And Scotland really need to adapt to that, because they know the ball's going to go to outside the 3-point line, so you've got to get out to that shot. They've got lucky on the last few that they've missed them, but then Ireland able to get the offensive rebound and just try it again.
Yes.
So, and there's only so many times you are going to get lucky on that. It's going to start to fall.
Absolutely. Interesting to see that we've also seen 7'1" Majid taken out of the game in that last round of substitutions. Ben Adams coming in a shorter centre, still a centre of course, but maybe that's due to the drop defense that Majid was playing. So 3-point shots.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the dynamic now on court.
2 men on Korea. They're forced to move it elsewhere. Here's Tuck finding the pass. It finds its way back to Korea in the end. Nicely worked from Scotland. The crossover, a little sloppy. It's a nice pass, top the key. Scotland have options here. They go for the 3-pointer. Bo Sproul unable to make it count.
And that's okay. They miss, but what you don't want to do after that is just commit the turnover for Ireland. So good for Scotland to get the ball back, get another chance at that without having to have a defensive possession.
Bo Sproul with a beautiful pass inside and one for Berry. A fantastic little move there, all starting from the side out restart. Is a beautiful pass inside and this quick hands here.
And that's a fantastic move there as well. You see how the 2-on-1 Scotland have been able to take advantage of that positioning under the basket, and it's worked very well for them with Adams coming in straight away.
Harvey Berry there nailing the 3-point play. Ireland looking to extend their lead before the end of the first. It's a huge block from Adams, competing for that starting centre role, and he blows the layup. That's a fantastic pass. And then the kick out. That could have been an amazing highlight play.
I thought we were getting a lob. It was just slightly too behind. I'm sure that's not going to be the last we'll see of that.
No, I'm sure no. Korea looking to the corner. Here's Berry once more. Kicks it out. And Tuck can't quite nail the deep three.
I feel like Berry and Adams have just brought a bit more energy to this Scotland squad Absolutely. At the moment.
It's interesting to see that I think the tallest player is Korea, who's actually handling the ball the most for Scotland in his current outfit. Acting as a point guard.
Got a point forward.
Yeah. We all know that basketball is more positionless now than ever. Its current form. Defensive versatility and length valued more than ever. And look at that. That's a beautiful run from Adams. Coming on to play centre, and then the pace on display there was unbelievable. Here come Ireland. They've got options here. That's a nice run and a beautiful kick out. And a Koji unable to make that shot count.
And this is interesting for me. It seems like Ireland's play pretty much every time is to shoot the three.
Yeah.
They're not really changing too much up offensively.
Absolutely. Pace and space is the name of the game for Ireland so far.
But since that last time out, a couple of minutes ago, Ireland only having scored 2 points.
Yep.
So they are getting those looks. They're now
3 of 12.
3 of 12. So, I mean, you're going to outscore your team if you're hitting threes.
Yes.
Aren't you? Like, it's a numbers game at the end of the day, but
yes.
You need to be able to make them. You know, started off quite well. You don't want to be taking too many, but missing too many and not taking advantage of other shots.
Absolutely. You can shoot yourself out of the game, that's definitely for sure. And there's a travel there. The discipline seeming to slack a little here for Ireland. They've swapped their backcourt out, taking out Rory Flynn, for example, who hit a couple of those threes early on. And whilst their offense has slacked a little, their defense seems to have stayed.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see as well, because so many teams talk about, you know, defense creates the offense. You put a tough defensive possession on, force a turnover, your offense comes naturally. Defense is the hardest part.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships,
exactly.
As they say. Here comes Scotland on the break. Looked like it was going to be a beautiful pass out, but Ireland get in the way again with a Koji. It's found its way back. It's time to Guinevere. And it's a beautiful 3-point shot. They're just trying to prove us wrong.
They are. They can hear us, I reckon. And they're
bet.
like, wait, we're going to drop in some threes.
Here comes Scotland with a straight answer back. Unable to make that one count.
But
a loose ball.
It can be a risk, can't it, though? You know, if you know you're a good three-point shooting team, and some days you're on, some days you're off. So it can be a risk to do it, but it's working well for them. There you go, back-to-back threes.
Back-to-back threes there with Jack Kehoe. Does Scotland have any way of getting back into this game in this quarter?
And much like we saw in the first game, if you're Scotland, like you were Wales, you don't have to try and shoot the three to compete if that's not your game or if it's not working for you. You don't have to fall into the trap of playing someone else's game.
Absolutely. The clock ticking down. It's a beautiful drive, and Carberry will head to the line here. Just thought he was going to knock that one in. Look at the way he was swiveling his arms just to create a little bit of separation on the layup.
Oh yeah, it's tough for that not to drop.
Yeah. Majid returns to the Scottish lineup. They're keeping Harvey Berry on. Just a slightly taller lineup. But Adams and Correa have headed to the bench.
And Correa's been doing a really good job rebounding. 5 rebounds, a couple of points to go along with that, but he's been leading the way for Scotland there.
Just 2 seconds on the clock after this shot is made. We'll see if we can get a buzzer beater. Couldn't get it up in time. He missed the shot anyway. But that is the end of the first quarter here at the Archers Arena. It is 21 for Ireland and only 5 for Scotland. The lowest scoring quarter so far we've had today at the Four Nations Under-18 tournament for any side. What's the Scottish coach going to be saying to his teammate now?
I think he needs to say, you know, calm down a little bit. I still think there's a few nerves out there.
Yeah.
Yes, Ireland are shooting a high volume of threes and they're knocking them down, but don't fall into that trap. It worked well. We saw with Adams and Berry when they were both on the court at the same time, they brought that energy. Either one of them was able to drive. If they missed, they were getting the rebound and kicking it back out. But those two together would seem to work really well. And getting to the basket, they've been able to do it, just not finishing around the rim.
Yes.
So I'd like to see them continue to do that. Look at that mid-range shot. They are getting some good looks from three, but it's not falling as well as it is for Ireland. But yeah, still a lot of time left in the game. And we can see there, Ireland knocking down some threes.
It's unbelievable. You keep waiting for a Scottish highlight, but they don't really exist. They've only hit one shot out of 15 attempts in that first quarter. It's not a stat you'd like to read if you're a Scot. But, like you say, they're not able to hit the threes at the same rate as Ireland, but they are attempting quite a few. 8 threes in a quarter. That's still quite a large amount. Yeah,
it is. That's quite high. And it's not dropped, but new quarter, put it behind you. Like we say, you can see what mistakes you're making in the game. The coaches will be looking at now what they haven't liked from what they've seen, what they want to try and do. And again, we saw it in the Wales-England game. We saw it happen throughout the game. So if you can have a better quarter in the second quarter than you did in the first, that's a win.
I wonder if there's a slight disadvantage to having been here all day but had to wait around a couple of hours for this Scottish or this Irish team. Obviously, it hasn't impacted Ireland. They've come out with scorched earth on their minds.
They have. But and as well, we're running slightly behind, so sometimes the teams will be planning their day around that. It might throw them off just a little bit. You've got your routine.
Here come Ireland straight out of the break. They go back to that same system. They shoot the three, unable to make that first one. Here comes Scotland, a beautiful turn there. And the drive is good. It's a fantastic effort for Scotland and Robbie Gilmore.
And that's what you want to see coming out of the quarter break.
Okoji with the bounce pass there. It's found its way all the way around. And that misses everything for Ireland. Carberry. Correa trying to instigate. Finds his way to Majid inside, trying to bounce off the Irish defence, but only seemed to bounce him back about a foot. Another 3 is up for Ireland.
And something interesting here, Dad, we look at this. Points in the paint for Scotland, just the 4. 0 for Ireland. All their shots have come from outside or the free throw line.
Now that's another basket for Scotland. Melville. Timeout called by Ireland. That's going to raise the spirits of the Scottish team. Not only to score the points, but to force Ireland to take a timeout.
Exactly, yeah. Scotland there coming out of the quarter break exactly as they'd have wanted to. Just scored 4 quick points. They scored 5 points in the entire first quarter. So already much better performance. And if you're Ireland, you then think, oh no, we're on the back foot a little bit, forcing them into that timeout, having to regroup because they need to counter what Scotland have started to do.
Absolutely, and they both come from strong drives into the paint, just like that one. They've knocked them down in close. So it's good to see that they have changed their play.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do. And as a coach as well, it's good to, obviously it's great that they can recognise that this is what we've tried to do. It's not quite working. We need to change this up a bit. And obviously it's difficult depending on who you've got on the court because they're players that they're not going to see very regularly. It can be quite hard to scout some of these teams. But Scotland done a very good job of adapting to that.
It was fantastic to see the travelling fans of the Scottish team there up in the bleachers here at Archers Arena. It's definitely a long way to come, but it's all so important to come and support your team, especially your national team.
Definitely. And we've got Scotland women out there supporting the guys' team, the men's team, and we'll be seeing them on court very shortly. And yeah, lots of travelling fans, lots of friends and family of the players, and it's just great to see.
Fantastic. So we're getting back started here with the Irish restart. Scotland taking a page out of the Irish book with some pressure in the front court. They're able to pass out, and that is fantastically well done from Guinevere. Ireland able to pass out of the pressure there. Here comes Scotland once more. Correa. What can he conjure up? Passing it out. There's Pringle. His first 3 of the game. A couple of misses in the first for him, but how much confidence is that going to give him? An enormous defensive lapse. So
yeah, I was just going to say, loads of confidence, but everyone needs to get back on defense.
A transition basket after a miss is one thing, but after scoring is indefensible. And that's a bit of bad luck once again for Scotland there down low.
I think Scotland maybe almost a bit too celebratory with the 3, not quite being aware of what was happening back on the other end.
Well, they've definitely upped their scoring in this quarter, but it seems rather easy for Ireland to get the points down as well.
Yeah, whilst you're scoring and you're doing well offensively, you don't want to neglect what you're doing defensively, because they were doing a decent job in the first quarter.
And once again, Majid trying to turn and shoot over his defender, unable to do so. Wow, well, referee calls that good. I thought there may have been some contact on there. Correa coming the other way. Lob up towards Majid is just too high. Didn't think I'd be saying that. Here come Ireland. Scotland have to tighten up their defense here. They're unable to do so, and Ireland tag on 3 more with Cuff.
And that's the 6th 3 of the game for Ireland.
Well, it felt as if Scotland were right back into this, just down a dozen a minute or so ago, and now it's back up to a 17-point deficit.
And this will be really interesting to see how Scotland deal with that. They've had a nice little run themselves.
Yeah.
Ireland have been able to counter it, but you need to be able to withstand that. You think, okay, because basketball is a game of runs. Teams are going to flow, another team's going to flow. So then Scotland need to be like, okay, we need to step up our defence and get some points in.
And then the 3 from the restart. Who'd have thought it? Scotland coming out in this second quarter, and they've knocked down 2 threes early. Good pressure there. Ireland once again able to survive. Once again the 3, but the miss.
And Scotland just slightly slower getting out to that 3.
They've called this an offensive foul. Be glad to see this again. I'm not so sure there, but we'll go with the referee. Korea, he's got a driving lane here, and he gladly accepts with a lovely kiss of the rim. Ireland. A foul called. Ball will stay with Ireland. Foul called against Adams. And that's fantastic defending from Korea from the drive inside on Ireland. A beautiful contest. There is Adams trying to tag on 3 more.
And he was open there. I would have maybe liked to see him drive. I know you've got to take someone on, but wait for someone on the team to come back. But it was a good look.
Well, that's what can happen when you try and take someone on instead of settling for the 3. Scotland found out the hard way off a tough rejection from Oasis.
And Oasis, one of the players that was here last year, a returning player. He was actually the team MVP of Ireland and made the All-Star starting 5. So he put on a show last year.
Ireland will be comfortable with this lead, but they won't want to rest on their laurels, shooting so many threes. They've already put up 20. An unbelievable amount of deep range efforts. It'll be interesting to see if, as the game progresses, whether or not they try to just stay a little safer, try to retain the lead with some 2s.
Yeah, and I think, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the matchup between England and Ireland, because England were a team that were hitting their 3s earlier in the game. So it's always very exciting when you've got 2 teams that do like to shoot and shoot high volume shots.
Korea with a fantastic offensive rebound there off the missed free throw. Adams in the corner. That's a loose handle, and he is pickpocketed. And the ball's actually come off him finally, so it'll be Ireland ball.
And Korea, for me, has been really, really solid for Scotland. He's just doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He's got 4 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple of assists.
Ireland passing it around beautifully there. Once again, they go for the 3 ball. They are getting players open. I wonder if, as we move forward and their percentage dips and dips, whether Scotland will continue to just kind of let them shoot.
Yeah. If it's not dropping for them, which it hasn't been recently, as that travel's called. Yeah, you can risk it, can't you? But you don't want to risk it too much.
No, of course, because it's a tricky line to walk. Because all of a sudden, 6 from 20 doesn't sound so great for Ireland.
No, not like when they started 3 from 9.
Yeah.
Much better start.
Absolutely. But if you were to invite them to start shooting more, I'm sure that percentage would start to climb once again. Korea looks so comfortable on the ball. At just 16 years of age. What a talent. Adams there driving inside and called for a travel.
But I like what we've seen from Adams.
Yeah. He's had an impact on the game, definitely.
Definitely has, yeah. Hasn't scored yet, but he's, again, been one of those impact players off the ball.
That's beautiful play from Mkewe. Ireland again pressing the front court, and it's worked out beautifully for them. They've got a trailing runner. It's just blown at the last second. Adams looking for a guard to take up the ball. Happy to distribute. Here comes Scotland. And it's a 3-up that misses the rim entirely once again from Bo Sproul. Ireland have options here. Decide to drive. Ball came off the foot of Harvey Berry.
And I like that Ireland have started to go to the basket a bit more.
Yep.
They are getting those outside looks, but also, getting inside, because it has worked for them. They've maybe not been able to finish around the rim again, but they're getting there.
That's a beautiful little dish there, and unable to make the shot at the last second. Scotland have a chance here in the fast break. It's another rejection from Ireland. A huge, huge block once again from U18. Are we going for number 3? Oh, but that's the thing. He caused the fear in the attacker.
Exactly, that's the presence. Just his presence is putting the offensive player off and making it difficult. You know you've got to go against him. You've just seen him hit that huge block, and you've got that hesitancy.
Well, well, what a defensive impact U18 has already made on this game with a couple of blocks. Let's take another look at that here. Wow. Get that on a highlight reel as soon as we can.
He gets up there, doesn't he?
It's an enormous piece of athleticism there from the defender. Ireland here get the restart right by the basket. Rory O'Flynn unable to get that shot off deflected. Korea deep away from the basket. Happy with the handoff. And it's nailed. Tuck there for Scotland. 3 threes in this quarter.
And it's flipped a little bit here for Scotland and Ireland on the three-point shooting.
Here is Rory O'Flynn again, happy to drive. A fantastic little reverse layup there. Rory O'Flynn.
That was great. He just hung in the air.
He's found his way to Adams here. Happy to drive inside, almost travelled there. And Scotland do travel in the end. That time it's Tuck.
I think you gave him the idea.
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry, Tuck. I'm very, very sorry. We've got just over 2.5 minutes remaining in this quarter. The lead is currently 15. A beautiful spin move there. And Ireland in and out there for beautiful spin from Malachy. And the pull-up mid-range can't go. A third bite at the apple. Anyone want to score?
Scotland almost watching the ball there with the rebounding. They need to box out, be a bit more aggressive on the rebounds.
Well, Korea has been grabbing the rebounds all over the place, but as soon as he gets boxed out, this doesn't seem to be another option.
Yeah, someone needs to step up as well and be able to get them, because, as you say, Korea, 7 rebounds already. He's been fantastic for Scotland this half, but you do need... Obviously, Ireland are realising that. He's getting the rebounds, boxing him out, but you do need someone to be able to step into that position.
Absolutely, because we've seen less and less minutes for Majid as we move forward. The coach seeming to not really trust him, maybe some defensive liabilities, although the advantage of his size. So maybe having him taken out of the game is costing them in the rebound.
Yeah, and you wonder if, we might see him back in maybe in the next minute or so, or if it's going to maybe be early in the third when we see him back on the court.
It's tough because Adams is playing a good game.
No, I like what I've seen from Adams when he's come in. Like I say, he's not been scoring, but he's been doing those things that affect the play on the court, and he's just hustling. He's just working really hard. You
were telling me earlier. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten it. There's an acronym for that up in Manchester.
The JLC.
The JLC.
The Joe Leadham column. Putting in that hard work that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Named after the great Joe Leadham Warner.
Of course.
GB legend.
Well, we are getting back out to play the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds of this first half. It's been a fantastic game so far. If you're enjoying this, please make sure to stay with us on the Basketball Wales YouTube channel as we continue throughout the day of fantastic events still to come. Here comes Scotland.
We've still got 9 games left.
Wow. Scotland there. Cross-court pass. And the 3 is just a little too strong from Tuck. Ireland giving the ball away sloppishly. Scotland need to find a pass here. It's found its way to Gilmore. Hasn't found any space when he drives inside. Trying to find Majid. Scotland currently running with Majid and Adams on it. It'll be interesting to see how that works. It'll be a jump ball. Adams there once again. That's not going to show up on the box score, but huge play for the Scottish team.
Do you know, that's something I would like to see on the box score, because some players force
So
a ridiculous amount of jump balls, don't they? And yeah, it doesn't show up, but it's so important to the game.
A little bit of a loose handle there. Repositioning. And it's found its way to Majid, who is fouled. Let's see how he deals with these free throws. He hasn't got any points as of yet. This looked like a foul from where we were sitting for sure. He had a clean look at the basket. Contact just about made on the arm.
And that was a really good handoff under the basket. Majid in the right position. And hopefully he can get some points for Scotland here.
The first is beautiful. Maybe it's just because I'm so conditioned by the NBA, but I just assumed that he would be bad at free throws.
Oh, big guy bad at free throws.
Big guy bad at free throws.
Yeah.
But no, he nails them both. Fantastic form. Here come Ireland, trying to finish the quarter strong. O'Flynn finding his running mate in the backcourt. Ireland seeming to be looking for that three-point shot again. They take it. And it's a miss once more as their percentage continues to plummet.
And they've really cooled off from behind the arc since the first quarter.
Absolutely. Nice little bounce pass there. But Scotland unable to retain it. The Irish defence has held up. As much as their offence may be cooling, the defence has held up strong.
And you've got to be pleased with that if you're Ireland as well. You don't want both to almost fall apart.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not falling apart, but...
No. They've still managed to score, but from deep at least, they've taken a big cooling down period. Because when they are to face England, for example, this might happen.
Yeah. And, I mean, that for me, so that game is going to be... Oh, that's tomorrow morning. That's a 9 o'clock game tomorrow morning, so definitely one to keep an eye on.
England going to be used to getting up bright and early. Here comes Scotland with the drive, and the second chance opportunity is denied. Fantastic work on the defensive glass by Nkewe. Here come Ireland once more. O'Flynn, as the clock ticks down. Ireland unable to beat the buzzer. The end of the first half leaves Ireland with 36 and Scotland with 23. A fantastic first half performance from so many of those Irish players. It's been a team effort. It doesn't seem like we've got one standout player.
It really has, hasn't it? Really spreading the scoring around for Ireland. And if we look down the score sheet here, just one player that's been on the court that hasn't scored. Doing things at the other end, though, with 5 rebounds. But yeah, a real all-round team effort from Ireland there, and that's you really like to see that. They've moved the ball well, they've substituted well, they've got players on the court, and that'll really help the coaching staff work out who works well together and what positions they can play in.
Absolutely. You take a look at their three-point shooting numbers. Cuff has been fantastic, 2 for 3. Rory O'Flynn, 1 for 3. You can live with that. Kehoe has shot 2 for 7. Maybe in this halftime break, it's time for the coach to tell him, maybe chill out.
I mean, he hit 2. He hit 2. So, you know, you've got to see what it's going to go like going into the third quarter. If he comes out, hits a couple, maybe coach is all right with that.
Yeah, maybe.
If they're not falling, maybe, you know, try something else, swing it round. But what I like to see as well, looking down here, the majority of players, all but 2 players, have attempted a 3.
Yes.
So it's clearly a philosophy in the team. You know, they are going to shoot that 3.
Interesting there, as you just saw on your screen, Scotland, in fact, did win that second quarter 18-15. So it's a big response from the Scottish team after that poor first quarter. Will they be able to recover in this second half? If you stay with us, you will find out. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We'll be right back real soon in a little bit. Hello and welcome back to Archers Arena for the Four Nations Under-18 tournaments here at Cardiff Metropolitan University. We are back for the second half and Ireland have already got us underway. Here is Rory O'Flynn. And it's another three-pointer.
I was just going to say, you wonder if Ireland are going to pick up where they left off shooting that three, and yes, they are.
Scotland have got to try and find a way to get back into this game. 13 points. We've seen crazier things happen for sure.
We have, and I think if Scotland come out and they play like they did towards the end of that second quarter, they can get back into this. They can easily level the score, take the lead, but they're going to need to play like they have been doing. Not let Ireland get any easy chances.
Absolutely. Need to maintain their defensive focus. Korea seems to be leading and generaling that defense, and it's a wild miss three from that left-hand corner. And that's a poor pass.
That's now going to take Ireland to 6 of 26 on three-point shooting.
And here comes Scotland again, unable to find the outlets. Now they have, but Ireland have reset. Scotland trying to make advantage of that with Gilmore, but he can't hit it from deep. Beautiful interception. Who's that? Tuck.
Tuck, yeah, we didn't see too much of him in the first half.
No. He did hit 2 threes.
Korea just being huge for Scotland.
That's a big shot for him. 7 points and 7 rebounds for him now. He seemed to really hesitate before deciding, no, I'm hitting this.
He did, yeah, he thought, I'm going to go for a three.
Yeah. Travel called. I think the Irish bench was assuming that was going to be called a foul against Korea because it did seem like a heavy push, but the travel came first. Here is Scotland finding Majid. And that looked like clear contact, but the referees have not called anything. Scotland have to readjust. It's a beautiful runner from Tuck.
And that's a great start from Scotland. Leads down to 10.
That's a nice bit of off-ball movement from Rory Flynn. The drive inside, and is well met at the rim by both Majid and Korea. Defensively, Scotland have really upped their game from that first quarter.
They really have, and it's great to see, and that's like we were talking about as well. They're the adjustments that you can make in-game.
Gilmore.
And that takes it to a single-digit game. But you see the adjustments that Scotland have made, and that's what they'll continue to do throughout the tournament. That's what all the teams will continue to do.
There is Majid with the rebound. Managed to find his way back out towards Gilmore. He's feeling it, but he can't quite convert there.
And for Scotland, again, they don't need to keep shooting the threes if they, they've been able to get inside, especially towards the end of that second quarter.
Beautiful little drop of the shoulder to get the drive going, and then Rory Flynn spins inside. But Korea with a no-look bounce pass for the transition bucket. That is clean for Scotland, and they are working their way back into this game.
And it's down to a 6-point game. Ireland up 20 at 1 point. So this is great from Scotland.
Unbelievable. Here is Rory Flynn again trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and he does just that with a beautiful right-hand finish. Good pressure from Ireland.
It's the Irish defence again coming out strong.
Substitution being made. Maliki heading off.
Adam's really eager to get on court.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting, we're seeing this lineup once again where you've got both Majid and Adams playing. It seemed to work well at the end of the last quarter. Let's see how it fares this time. Korea looking for a teammate's help. He gets it, and oh, the unlucky bounce. Irish have options. Korea met him at the rim, and that's a fantastic bit of hustle, and he manages to win the restart for Scotland.
He has been absolutely huge for Scotland. As we said before, 16 years old. He's been fantastic. He's hustling, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists and a steal.
Adams took that on the turn beautifully. Here is Tuck from the corner. Majid unable to get that offensive rebound. Scotland seeming a lot more decisive on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that can be, like we've spoken about again in the first half, your nerves have settled, you've got into the game, you've got into a bit of a rhythm, and you can play like you know you can play.
Well, that's a big three from Rory Flynn. Scotland attempt to pull away. That's a poor pass from Korea. Ireland have options in both corners. Scotland are punished for leaving gaps out wide.
And there we go, that's the problem, isn't it? Ireland, they're shooting a high volume of threes. They had quite a section where they missed quite a few, but they're just back into it now.
Well, the game was very close, and all of a sudden it's back up to 14.
Yep, within 6. And that's quite tough, but Scotland, they just need to keep going. They've been able to do it, they've closed that gap, so they just need to do it again, unfortunately.
Yes. Gilmore once again in the middle of the action. Good defensive work by Adams. Ireland forced to play on the perimeter, but they're quite comfy there. Here's Yosis. That'll be Ireland ball.
And Gilmore again for Scotland. He was one of the players that we saw here at the tournament last year. Plays for Myerscough in the regular season. And he'll have been able to take that experience of last year, bring it into this, talk to some of his teammates about it.
Always important to have experience on your side in a tournament such as this one, where you're calling out and desperate for leadership. Ireland, well, they have caught fire once again from deep. Here is Gilmore finding Adams. Scotland needs to keep their heads here if they're going to stay in this game. Taking their time. Good screen from Korea. Fake the pass, and that looked as if it was going to be going in there.
It looked straight through, didn't it? It was just a little bit short, grazed the rim at the front.
It'll be Scotland ball. Holding calls the referee. Majid there drawing the foul, going for the offensive rebound. Majid will come out, as will Gilmore. Scotland going to go a little smaller here. Korea, ball in hand. Ball passed out nicely. Looking to drive. The Scottish defense converges all around that painted area. It'll go the way of the Irish.
And that's unlucky there for Adams not to get the shot, Berry not to get the rebound, and we saw them in the first half. They were bouncing off each other well. You know, if one of them missed, the other was able to get the rebound. Just unlucky to not finish it there.
Here come Ireland. Here's Gingridi. Kehoe. Travel called. Ireland have been called for quite a few violations, quite a few travelling violations today.
They have, yeah, and you think that's going to be something that the coaches will want to work on coming out of this game. They'll be able to look at the tape, look back, what didn't work. They'll probably pick up on that as well.
Absolutely, and maybe that's discipline coming away from their game. Scotland have the side-out restart here in the hand of Adams. Korea trying to get free. He finds a way to turn the corner. And he's fouled. He's just a problem.
He is, isn't he? He's just doing a bit of everything, and he's really standing out for me here on this Scotland team. And like we said, just a young player. He's really leading the way for them.
22 minutes already played. They clearly know his worth. We were saying that the Ireland team is all spread out quite evenly. He definitely stands out for the Scotland. And that's a beautiful assist for him, and a beautiful mid-range shot for Adams. 7, 8, and 5 now for Korea. Dare I say that we're on triple-double watch once again?
I think we should be. I think we should be constantly alert to triple-doubles.
Beautiful find for the corner. And Ireland tag on 3 more with Scully. Beautiful form on that release.
And that's 10 made threes for Ireland.
Scotland able to evade the pressure. And the miss there, feeling a little like a gut punch. That would have been a huge answer back.
Because if you're Scotland here, so the lead's up to
16.
Thank you. You want to look at this, try and get it to within 10. You need to take it in chunks almost, in small bits. Don't think, oh, we're down 16. Get it to 10, get it to 8, get it to 5. That's how you need to look at it.
Just need to go on another run here as they did as they came out for the second half. Ireland seem to be able to pass the ball around so neatly.
They do, and it's that ball movement that's getting them those open shots and those open looks from 3, and they're able to swing it around so fast. It makes it really difficult for Scotland to get out to it.
Yeah, they seem like a very cohesive unit.
Yeah, and you wonder how much practice time they might have had, because we know that some of these teams don't get much practice time at all.
Yeah.
The groups aren't always together. It can be very difficult to get the national teams together, so they may have had a bit more practice than some of the other teams.
Carberry with a beautiful pass to the inside, and Ireland tag on 2 more with Guinea-Gibby. Contact there on the pass. Referee blows no whistle. And the 3 is another miss for Scotland. Trying to shoot their way out of this hole. It's not worked for them. And Ireland are starting to pull away once again.
And as we said in the first half, that's why they're so dangerous. They had that little lull from the 3-point line. They don't have that anymore.
Stepped into the 3 there, Scotland. But once again, it's a miss. 4 for 21 now, Scotland. Rather abysmal, 19%. It's working for them inside. Almost want to scream it. Stop shooting threes.
Because when they went on that little run in the second quarter, you know, they did hit some threes, but that wasn't the thing that was bringing them back into it. It was working inside.
Absolutely. The run was spurred on by threes, but the run was made by that aggressive drives towards the basket.
Definitely. And again, it's one of those situations where you don't want to panic shoot. You don't want to think we've got to, you know, they're hitting threes, so obviously they're scoring more, but you can chip into it and then just step up defensively.
Absolutely, because it's gonna knock away at the morale and the confidence of the Ireland team just to have to go, they scored again, they scored again, no matter if it's 3s or 2s. Well, the lead currently 21 for the Ireland men.
That's the biggest lead of the game for Ireland.
It was quickly knocked back down to 20, just to prove me wrong. Foul called against Melville. Overly aggressive in the challenge there.
Yeah, I see they're just reaching in.
Here's Carberry. Gets Ireland going. A little give and go. I think he thought he was going to be more open than he ended up being. Good ball movement once again from Ireland. Patient, not rushing anything. And, I just wanted them to score that one. And they step out of bounds off the offensive rebound.
But a good job again getting that offensive rebound.
They're working hard, this Irish squad. They have got a deep squad and they're definitely rotating plenty here.
Yeah, bringing a bit of a larger squad than some of the others, so they've got players that they can look at in different games. So you're not going to see the same 12 on court for the next 3 games, I wouldn't expect.
Blown 2 layups right under the basket there, Scotland. And Melville gets to redeem himself, hopefully here at the free throw line.
See there. Trying to put it back in, working really hard. And Scotland able to get the offensive rebounds. And again, like we saw in the first half, they're able to get the rebounds. They're just not able to finish.
Yes. They're bringing Majid back in. Scotland calling a timeout. Their head coach wants a word here just to try and get back into this game. They've fallen behind so quickly. It felt like it had been a quarter's worth of work, and they'd really fought their way back in. They were down just 6, and all of a sudden they're back down by 20. It's got to be so disheartening.
It does, yeah, but you've just got to kind of focus on where you are now and what you need to do to cut into the lead. So, yeah, down 20, bring it back in with 6. They need to be really pleased with they've done that, so they know they can do it. They just need to do it again. We can see there, Ireland just knocking down the 3-point shot. But what I'd like to see Scotland do is, like I said, go back to what was working for them in that run, getting inside. We saw it just there on the last possession, able to get the offensive rebound, not quite able to finish, but they have drawn the foul and gone to the line. So keep working on that, because it's done well for them.
Interesting to see there on those replays how many of these threes are open for Ireland all of a sudden, because they've made a couple of substitutions. Korea went off most notably. Adams went off, and all of a sudden it seemed as if the perimeter defense just kind of went away.
Yeah, and we see Korea back on court now. And hopefully he'll set the tone there, but you can't, Ireland have shown you can't leave them open.
Yeah. They are going to punish you if you do. Not long remaining in this third quarter. Gosh, it's flown by.
And coming up next after this game, we've got the Scotland women and England women.
Ooh, that'll be a great game. There's Majid with a audacious effort, let's leave it at that. Adams with an awful lot of effort on the ground. And Scotland still can't make do. Ireland here, the seconds ticking away. Foul called against Sturgiopoulos.
And Ireland on team fouls. Sorry, Scotland aren't on team fouls.
Interesting to see what this play is. Head coach has just called out green twist. Let's see what happens here. Watch out for Kehoe here. He's expecting the handoff, and it's blocked. Fantastic defensive effort from Scotland to finish that third quarter, but it is Ireland the story. As we head into the fourth, they have regained a big lead once again. They're up 57-37. Please stick around with us for the fourth quarter as we see how this game finishes up. But Kaz, who's standing out to you now? I mean, we're not going to decide who's the player of the game until much later, of course. But it seems like it's going to be a tricky one to choose from this Irish squad, right?
Yeah, I feel like they've done such a good job of just spreading the scoring around. I mean, you look here, we have Kehoe on 9. Ginnybe's on 9 as well. O'Flynn on 10. And it's really been spread around. Again, everyone but one on the score sheet. And yeah, a real all-round contribution. For me, I think O'Flynn has done a really good job leading the way scoring-wise, knocking down a couple of threes. And obviously Kehoe as well. He's been crucial for them. But Ginnybe getting in there with the rebounds as well. He's got 5 rebounds and 5 assists, along with his 9 points. So, yeah, a real all-round team effort. And I really like that when you see that from a team. You know, people don't rely maybe on one guy so heavily.
Yes, that heliocentric thing never really seems to work. Just got to give a quick word and a huge thank you to everyone here at Archers Arena who's come down to support all of these teams here today, taking part in the action and the atmosphere. And also our sponsors, iPro, Hydrate, Basketball Wales National League Starting 5, Smaller Ballers, Bigfoot Basketball, Sport Wales, and of course Cardiff Metropolitan University, who are our partners in today's 4 Nation Under 18 tournament. We're just about to get started for the fourth quarter. So stay, I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat. Stay there, keep your eyes glued on the screen, because we're about to find out exactly how this third game of the day is about to end.
And if you're not on the edge of the seat, just shuffle forward a little bit.
Just shuffle forward, what are you doing? Come on.
And then coming up after this game, we have Scotland and England women.
That's going to be a great game.
It is going to be a good one.
Scotland get us underway. Here, Gilmore trying to find some space. Handle was loose.
I'm also going to be interested to see how Ireland come out after having one game's worth of rest and then go back to play Wales later on this evening, because are they going to be able to shoot at such a high clip?
Well, I think that's why we're seeing such a big rotation here. Beautiful lift on that mid-range shot, but unable to knock it down. Scotland under pressure here. Gilmore trusted to get them out of it. Here is Adams. Sergiopoulos still scoreless. Able to find Majid down low. Nice footwork to create some space. And that's just his second bucket of the game. His first bucket, sorry, his second time scoring. His first 2 points with free throws.
Just has 7 rebounds though. He's been making his presence known.
So just 10 under his average for the season. What a pass that is from Sturgiopoulos. And it's found Majid inside. Unable to get the soft touch right by the rim. Lead pass there from Cuff looked promising, but Scotland able to knock it out of bounds.
And Ireland having done a good job against Majid inside as well, putting that pressure on when when someone's taking the shot, they're able to just force him into difficult shots.
That three-pointer never looked quite right, and the free throw jumper also misses, and the follow-up. How many opportunities do Ireland need? Well, they'll keep getting them. And they almost got their 5th chance in one possession there. Offensive rebounds for Ireland have been impressive all day long.
And you love to see the offensive rebounds, but you need to get it back in.
Yes.
So good hustle, and it can be difficult to finish around the rim, but you want to see after 3-4 chances, getting it back.
Well, you wonder if Scotland is starting to lose their heads a little there. Bit of an outlandish pass from Adams. Ireland have options here. Looking to drive and kick. That's a big hit there that he just absorbed. Here's Sergiopoulos. He hasn't scored as of yet. And that is still the case. Ireland keep it in with a brilliant bit of athleticism. The Euro step is blocked by Majid. Illegally, says the referee.
And Osei Rahan driving to the basket, the footwork, can we see it back here? Yeah, look how he's just stepping through to the basket. That's a great move from him. And he's also, I must add, he's got 11 points in the game.
Yes.
Sorry, 11 rebounds.
11 rebounds. Well, this game has been a fantastic watch. Both teams have been in it at various times. Ireland, without doubt, have been the side in dominance.
And if you've enjoyed watching them, you don't have to wait long to see them again.
Absolutely not. I wonder if we'll see an impact on the scoreline if the Irish have to rotate more to make some time to be able to rest.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see. And again, especially against Wales, who having already played earlier this morning, had a bit of a rest, but still it's tough playing playing games so close together.
Look at that pressure from Korea. And it's a big miss. Here comes Gilmore, trusted with the ball. He's able to get inside rather easily there. Korea, that pass was telegrammed. And the Irish easily intercepting.
And Korea, for me, has been the real standout for Scotland today.
Yeah. Beautiful little palm pass there. And Adams contested from behind. You don't see that too often. Here come Ireland. Able to keep it away from Majid. It's difficult. Being so big, it's really difficult for him not to foul there. Because his limbs extend so far. He's got to be even more disciplined. Otherwise, the referee's going to call that every time. Yeah,
and that's really tough when you're a player of that size as well, because you almost want to step back a bit, but you can't because you need to step up and defend.
And coach has decided to pull him out of the game. Wonder if that'll be it for him in today's fixture. At the line now, Ireland. Cuff. Misses.
And Cuff's been having a really good game facilitating as well. 6 assists to go along with his 8 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, an all-round game.
Yeah, and you're looking down the stat line for Ireland, and there's so many players that have done it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They're looking like a really solid team here, and I do think that England-Ireland matchup is going to be the one to watch.
Absolutely. Looks like we have 2 favourites, that's for sure. Interesting there. Ireland have 5 substitutes ready to come on.
Oh, we've got a hockey sub.
Beautiful pass there from Cuff. And the layoff from Koji is fantastic. Kehoe there with his 13th points of the game.
There's a brilliant pass under the basket.
Korea able to maintain his dribble and draws the foul.
And we actually saw the under-16 Ireland men's team winning the under-16 Four Nations tournament in Dublin just a few days ago.
What a time for sport in Ireland. Rugby, basketball. What a time it is for sport in Ireland.
Yeah, and it's so great to see that development, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got players that are coming up through the ranks, and that under-16 squad that have just won, they'll be moving into the under-18 soon, so you're really setting the tone.
Absolutely. And these guys will end up in the senior team.
Exactly, yeah.
What are they doing? Yeah. What are they doing? I want to know what the Irish have done. Is it a particular investment maybe? Because it's not as if we've got BBL sides in Ireland. So I wonder what it is that's caused that. It's really interesting.
It is, isn't it? I know there are players that have gone over to the Irish League. I know Farrell Gordon from the Manchester Magic went over this season.
Yeah.
He's been having a really good season, but and I don't know if any, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone that's out there, but I don't find it as accessible to be able to watch. I would like to see some of the Irish games, but I'm not sure where we can see it.
Coverage of it, do you?
Yeah. And that's something I'd like to see as the next step, because obviously the team is out there and they've got the talent. So let's shout about it. Let's find out more about these players.
Absolutely. And talk of investment, when you've got to talk about Scotland at the moment. Of course, Caledonia Gladiators have just committed to a £20 million basketball arena.
And that's huge. That's fantastic.
Enormous, isn't it?
When teams have got their own arenas, we've seen it in Newcastle and Leicester. It does so much good for the club.
And here at the Archers.
And at the Archers,
Yeah.
It's so beneficial for the club, and it's something that all clubs, as difficult it is, that would be the ideal, wouldn't it? We'd like to strive for that for everyone.
Absolutely. Well, there's not long remaining here. Just over 6.5 minutes. Plenty of time for maybe some players on the fringes to prove a point to their coaches.
Yeah, you've got players on these squads as well. Like we say, 2 more games to go for both of these teams. You've got players that want to prove they've got a chance to get into the starting lineup, get some more minutes, and this is the time for them to do so. Scotland
get underway. They retain Korea and Adams here. That's an audacious pass from Adams, and huge pressure from Scotland. Once again, Ireland are able to escape. This could be trouble here. The pass was slow from Uosis. He gets the ball back. Good little crossover, and he feeds a beautiful tray from Scully.
And that's really tough. He had a hand in his face as well. That's a really tough shot.
Here is Korea. Good cut. Good decision. That's a fantastic play, both from the handler and the finisher.
And Korea has been doing great handling the ball as well.
7, 9, and 6 now for him. I'd like to see maybe a bit more aggression from him on the scoring side, but he's only 16, so that might come as he grows and physically develops. He's very tall, but also quite thin.
Yeah, and that's just a natural development type of thing as well. That comes with age
16.
as well.
My goodness.
And that's the scary thing about some of these players that we're seeing. They're doing this at this age. Imagine what they're doing in 5, 6 years' time.
Yeah, we're talking about all the time the development of basketball, the sport here in Britain, and an event like this just makes me think, how promising is the future of this sport here at home? What's Team GB going to look like in 5 years? It could be unbelievable.
It could, definitely, and it's really exciting to think of that prospect as well. And we're seeing it almost now with the GB women's team that will be at Eurobasket in June. You know, quite a different squad when you've got retirements with Chantel Handley, Jo Leedon-Warner having retired,
of course.
Xenia Stewart stepping back. You're getting this new look team coming in when you've got players like Holly Winterburn, Kennedy Leonard. You know, it's almost the new era. And
absolutely, I love Kennedy Leonard's game.
She's fantastic.
fantastic.
Just her passing. I could watch her pass all day.
Yeah. I find it odd that she was playing so few minutes for London Lions. I thought that was an interesting thing. She was MVP not so long ago.
She was, yeah. So hopefully we see her back on court soon.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Miss her game. She's fantastic.
Yeah, if there's any young point guards out there, you could do a lot worse than watching Kennedy Leonard.
Absolutely. She's not a bad role model. It looks like we're getting some changes for both teams here. Mozumda, number 14 for Scotland, as well as Pringle. Haven't seen him in a while. Ireland, Uosis going to get us restarted. Uosis relocates and shoots. Too strong. That's a fantastic bit of work under the basket by Maliki. And Korea, they say he stepped past the line.
And Maliki, that you love to see that. Ireland up big, going in for the rebound and the putback. That's a huge play from him.
And it'll stay Ireland ball. Mazumda getting in the way of the restart, but only knocking it back out once more. Catch and shoot. Missing everything for Ireland. Korea distributing, takes it himself, unable to capitalize. Here's Mazumda.
He took that. He was open in the corner, calling for it. I just don't think he was noticed.
Ireland have a chance now to come the other way and extend their lead even further. They're currently up by 29. Make it 31. Korea being relied upon. Just about missing the 8-second violation there, Scotland. Here's Korea driving right, kicking to Mazumda. And an air ball for his second shot of the game.
And that can be tough when you've been on the bench for a long time. You know, you warmed up probably about an hour and a half ago.
Absolutely, coming in cold.
Yeah. Give him some time, he'll get into that rhythm.
Fantastic offensive rebound once again. What a beautiful pass. That was absolutely fantastic from Scully. And Maliki made no mistake under the basket. Korea turning fantastically well. Driving so confidently, has to throw it out in case of traveling.
And Korea with that long stride as well. He's able to just get inside, step back out if he needs to.
A foul called against Scully. Korea taken off. Rounds of applause from the Scottish bench. Don't think he wanted to come off, to say the least.
No, I'm sure he'd happily play the full 40 minutes if he could. But finishing it there with 7 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. He's been really, really impressive for the Scotland team.
Absolutely. Ireland pushing up. Just about managed to keep that one in. Go to work here. Good drive inside. Nice, strong move. And Price hasn't played a lot here, but he's been good when he's been on. And once again, Ireland able to turn it over from Scotland. And it'll stay Ireland ball. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Scotland 41, Ireland 79 the score.
And Ireland here definitely going to start to have an eye on their next game that's going to take place in a few hours' time against Wales. And you wonder if they use this time as well, with such a big lead, can they run some plays? Can they try something out that they might want to do in the Welsh game?
Well, Mazumdar has a chance to leak out in transition. Kept it in, but only passed it away to the Irish squad. Here is Price. The Price was right that time. Boo hiss. The Irish able to win it back again. This is impressive, with just showing how deep their roster is, Ireland. All these changes, and they're still playing at such a high pace, such a high tempo.
Yeah, and everyone from Ireland are contributing to the scoring, everyone on the score sheet. That's you love to see that. You don't see that too often.
Absolutely not. And I think we've just had another 4 changes for Ireland.
Oh, and they've got a deep bench.
This is unbelievable. Sturgiopoulos there, unable to find a teammate. Melville will get the restart going. Here is Sam Walker. Trying to turn the corner, manages to release the ball at just the right time. And Melville hit the bottom of the rim and ended up catching it himself. Ireland here, options. Price with a beautiful bounce pass. But Price has looked absolutely fantastic since coming on. Wonder why he's not a bigger player in their rotation. Maybe they're hiding him for England tomorrow.
Secret weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playing just under 8.5 minutes. And you wonder if maybe he'll feature a bit more in the game later on today against Wales.
Perhaps. Maybe this is the thing. Maybe we're getting a sneak peek here at the primary squad for this evening's game.
And it seems like a good problem to have for the Irish, Irish
as
team.
problems go. And the second is a miss for Ireland. We're just about to hit the 2-minute mark. Ball goes out and it stays with Ireland. Kaz, do you have a player of the game?
I've just been thinking about this, and I think it's tough. But for Ireland, I think I might have to go for... I'm going to say Kehoe, I think.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
I think he made a real impact.
Yeah.
13 points, 3 rebounds, couple of steals. But yeah, everyone's been so solid, working around as a team. Janibi as well.
Yeah. 9
points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a really impressive performance for him. And I mean, Price just coming on now, 9 points in just under 9 minutes. Yeah.
If he'd have played the whole game, we'd have a clear winner.
Yeah, I think we would, wouldn't we? So in answer to your question, no, I don't have a clear MVP.
You don't have a clear MVP. All right. We'll give you a minute. You are going to have to make a decision.
I'll come back in a minute.
All right.
For Scotland, though, let me go Korea. I think he's been massive.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's been huge.
Fantastic. Gilmore also had a good game for Scotland, but Korea just everywhere. Controlled the ball, controlled the offense. Fantastic on the defensive end. But
and I think my favourite thing might be that he's 16, and that's so
unbelievable story.
So young. He's playing up again, essentially into the under-18 squad, and if this is what he can do now at 16, how much how much more are we going to see from him in a couple of years when he's been able to develop and just enhance his playing?
Absolutely. Let's hope that we can keep his talents here in Britain, because I'm sure that a 6'7", 16-year-old will be keeping an awfully lot of scouts interested.
Yeah, people will have their eye on him, and he's playing in his regular season for the Glasgow Wrens. So if you're up in Scotland, you'll be able to catch him, I imagine.
Caledonia going to have him on the phone by the end of this tournament, for sure.
That'd be great, wouldn't it, seeing him in the BBL?
That'd be great, yeah. Ireland here, moving the ball nicely, but just pickpocketed at the end. They managed to recover it. And Scotland have a chance here on the fast break. Once again, Scotland running into trouble. Here's Walker. Misses everything. I think that's the second time Sam Walker has shot an air ball since coming on in this fourth. There's no question which team has the deeper bench, is there?
Not at all. I don't think anyone will be questioning that.
Oh, that's an audacious little pass there from Ireland. And the balls come back to Walker. Here is Harvey Berry. Scotland drive. It's a bit of a wild effort at the rim.
Just run out of gas a little bit of Scotland at the moment. Just a 4-point quarter for them.
Wow, the first quarter they only scored 5. At the time, that was the lowest scoring quarter of the day. Unless they do something here, they will beat their own record. It's not a record they want to keep either.
No, it's not. No, that was a good move from Walker there, though, to break the defense, break through. I've rethought my MVP.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm going to go Declan Janibi. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Been really efficient. 4 of 6 shooting. So shooting 66%.
Hit a 3 as well.
He did, getting in on that 3-point action. And he's definitely a player I'd like to see more of as well in the next couple of games.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Janibi, you are our game MVP.
I'm sure he'll be very pleased.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Just 40 seconds remaining here in this one. Ireland at the moment doubling the Scottish score, 82-41. That was an audacious pass. They have a chance here with Mazumdar. Once again, it's just a little bit of a wild finish. Good bit of pace there from Mazumdar, but didn't really know what to do when he got there. Ireland can just let this ball dribble out. At the end of the third fixture of the Four Nations Under-18 tournament here in Cardiff, Ireland have defeated Scotland 82-43. It has been a fantastic game here, Kaz. What can you make of it? How can you sum it up for us?
It was exciting. That one was. It was exciting. It was maybe not as close as we were expecting after the first half. I think Ireland have shown that they are a team to contend with. So they're going to be, England are going to be looking at them, Wales going to be looking at them, looking at what they've done here. Their 3-point shooting at times was phenomenal. They're taking a lot of them, but that has been working for them really well. They're going to be a tough matchup for any other team that they come up against. Scotland as well, massive credit to them. They did a really good job bringing the lead back down to 6 at one point. Just unfortunately got away from them in the third and fourth, but they've definitely got some positives they can take from that. There'll be lots that they'll look at, things to work on, but things that did work very well, especially for me, Adams and Berry, when they were working together inside, it was really impressive. Completely agree. Well, if you look at that, it's just a 5-point first quarter and a 6-point fourth quarter. It's a tough way for Scotland to both start
and to finish. That's what's cost them in the end. They need to come out better and they need to finish better if they're going to take this into the next few rounds. All right, and I'm going to pass over to Kaz now, who has our game MVP.
Declan, congratulations on today's win.
Thank you.
The team worked really well together, everybody getting on the score sheet, a real all-round team effort. How does it feel after that?
Yeah, it feels great. Everyone put in their best effort and it paid off in the end. Like, we moved the ball well and everyone got a touch of the ball and everyone contributed to the win.
Yeah, and something that we noticed as well, obviously you like to shoot the three-point shot as a team. Yeah. Is that something you work on relentlessly in practice?
Yeah, I guess so, but everyone just practices in their own time, so when we get the ball, we're not scared to shoot it. So
yeah, and you can tell, and that works really well for you.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of hours break, and then you're going to be facing Wales in a few hours' time. How are you going to prepare for that?
We're just going to get rested, drink water, eat well, and then get ready back in and do the same thing we did there.
We'll do again. Well, congratulations on today's win, and good luck in your next game. Thank you
very much.
Well, thank you, Kaz. That was a fantastically interesting interview. Janibi there played such a massive role in that Irish win. Did finish 82-43. Thank you for joining with us. Make sure to stick around the Basketball Wales YouTube page for the next game, which is which is England versus Ireland women.